A spectacular performance. Curry from half court. Sometimes, something looks like it's been there a while.
We are here, the 3 Points Podcast, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters. I'm back. I'm here. I didn't get kicked off the podcast. I know there was a lot of rumors in the comments in our
Ooh,
subreddit. Sorry, what? What, Wes?
ooh. For the fans. Fans can't speak for
This
can't
is
speak.
this is who needs enemies when you got friends like this, right, guys? So I wasn't kicked off the podcast. I had to renegotiate my salary a little bit. I was holding out, as Nick Bosa did, as Brandon Ayuk did. Didn't go too well for him, but as many of the greats do, I realized my value on the podcast. I realized I'm like a 65% value for the podcast. I would say the rest of the bums on the podcast, especially the guy next to me, Thomas. Pretty low value to the podcast overall in the grander scheme of things. So I had a little bit of renegotiating going on, and while I was renegotiating, I was also out of state. I was in my beautiful Normal, Illinois. Rivian R2, coming soon, 2026. 45K MSRP is eventual price. It obviously starts off with like kind of like the pro versions. This would be like 65K, but gets to 45K. Pretty good price for the market value. R2 is like a 5-seater mini SUV. Totally recommend getting it. Besides that, I was also in Canada, the 6, visiting family, cousins. I was unfortunately working throughout this whole entire process, so it was like kind of hectic slash stressful. Wasn't the most enjoyable, but it was a good scenery change. It was nice to visit my cousins. Shout out my normal cousins, shout out my Canadian cousins. But I'm back in the Bay. I'm back where I belong. I'm back where I thrive the most. And it's good to be here with my fellow podcasts now, with a higher stake in the company. They work for me. So without further ado, it's nice to be back. Hello, Thomas and Wesley. Hi, did you guys miss me?
What? I sorry, I was just scrolling through
I said, did you guys miss me?
Twitter. Oh yeah.
Hi, were you guys able to hold the fort down the last couple of weeks?
Yeah, I guess so.
I mean, actually, jokes aside, I was just traveling. It's good to be back.
Yeah.
But these guys did kill it last couple of weeks. I've been listening to the podcast. I really thought, like, kind of starting the episode, because I am the guy, I yap, I start the episode, the monologues, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. They did a great job. I really thought it was gonna be super
Yeah, I
awkward.
mean, we had a whole private conversation about kicking you off.
Yeah, I did hear a lot of the bits like, oh, is he even a host? Is he even part of the
Just knew there was
podcast?
more going on behind the scenes, but we decided, we'll give it at least a trial run with him.
It's my 10-day
having him
contract.
back on. Yeah.
No, I mean, it really was just like the time zone difference, and like after work, the time zone difference, I would just be too exhausted. Full transparency, and then like traveling with family, it was kind of tough.
Yeah.
So I was out of the loop. Like I didn't watch a lot of Warriors games in that span, but I did listen to the podcast episodes, and I gotta say, shout out to my two fellow co-hosts. They killed it. They kept me in the loop. My understanding was just like it's more or less the same problems, right? We're a play-in team, 8-7 seed team, streaky play. Steph, for the most part, pretty consistent. Jimmy doing his thing as well. Draymond, my understanding, digressed a little bit offensively,
Yes, but I would say
but he's been playing well last couple of games.
had a
Right?
better stretch recently.
So, yeah, I think these guys have been holding down the fort. So we're gonna cover the last 4 games. We played against the Clippers on Monday, Jan 5th. We played against the Bucks Wednesday, Jan 7th. Played against the Kings Friday, Jan 9th, and then we played against the Hawks today, as of a couple hours ago. Before we get into that, I would like to shout out the flippin' 49ers. Can we give a round of applause? Come on, guys. Like I know, like our co-host Wes is not. He's like a salty ass Raiders fan. However, you gotta give props to the absolute grit, determination with a goddamn hospital. Freaking Kittle tore his ACL, like out for the remainder of the playoffs. Heartbreak, by the
Achilles
way.
actually, which is even
Achilles.
worse. Yeah.
Out for probably a good chunk of the next
That's
season.
tough.
It is tough. There is a rumor going on, which has been gaining traction, which I'm,
It has
I'm glad
been,
to see. Maybe they relocate, right? Thomas, you kind of read the article better than me. Can you give a bit
Yeah,
more?
I mean, the idea basically is that because there's a power substation right next to the Niners practice field, the electromagnetic waves that are generated from that substation are impacting tissue growth amongst the Niners players and making
Oh my
them
God.
more
This is like
susceptible to
this
tears.
is a
This is
real
a
theory.
real theory that somebody, I think an amateur, but somebody who clearly knew what they were talking about to some degree, wrote an entire paper about, a Substack post about. So he cited like 17 different scientific papers giving examples of this phenomenon. It was a lot of complicated terminology I didn't fully understand. Something about electrons that work within the mitochondria being disrupted by electromagnetic fields, something like that. All I know is that it's gaining traction, and outside of any other rational explanation for the absolute misery that us Niners fans have endured in the form of injuries, it seems somewhat convincing to me because, as the guy said in the paper, one of the first lines in the paper was, as a scientist myself, I cannot believe that this level of outlier could be explained solely by luck. It simply does not make statistical sense. The amount of injuries the Niners have had over roughly the past decade, it's ridiculous.
And it's tough because like so Kittle, you said he's an ACL, right? Or Achilles, right? So that's a lot of burst, a lot of acceleration. So I mean, the good news about Kittle is that he is more than just like a catcher. Like he's a blocker. He's a huge scheme. But do you think he comes back the same?
No, absolutely not. Players on
It's
the
tough, right?
players on the wrong side of 30 who tear their Achilles have a very, very rough history.
It's really, really
Kevin Durant is the legendary exception to the rule. He came back and was
Yep.
damn near just as good as he was
Yeah.
before, although maybe a slight drop off. Aside from that, you can't really come up with an example of a player who, I mean, Aaron Rodgers, obviously tore his Achilles, is still a serviceable quarterback, but still very much a shell of his former self.
At what age did he tear?
Like 39.
Wow. Okay.
And honestly, what he's done is actually pretty impressive when you consider the fact that
Maybe Kyrie. Kyrie also tore his Achilles. Right?
we will see, right?
We'll see how
Kyrie is not.
MCL.
timeline.
Oh, that was an ACL. Okay, yeah, never
What
That
is
was
his
ACL or
timeline?
MCL?
Yes,
within a month, supposedly. But now that AD is out for almost 2 months, which I don't know if you heard about
his
that.
arm, right? Something happened to
No,
his
his hand.
What happened to his hand?
I don't know. He like bumped it
Bumped
against
into
against the wall or
his
something.
cabinet at home.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah, so
So definitely very, very unfortunate news because, I mean, look, yeah, I mean it's tough. Look, today though, I would say the defense was stronger than the offense.
absolutely.
Right? We held them to what, 13?
It was
19.
no. The final score was
23 to 19.
Thank you, Wes.
Right. It was that right. But like the defense in the last play, man, that fourth and whatever,
Game-winning play,
blocking it,
that's
man,
always nice.
phenomenal. Like, and I was telling Thomas, I don't know. I was feeling so nervous because this was a very weak game.
Yeah. I mean, look. At the end of the day, I think Niners fans were along for the ride at this point. I was telling Hassan earlier. This is a team that's going to be the underdog in every game that they play the rest of the season. They're going to be an underdog against the Seahawks. They're going to be an underdog against either the Rams or the Bears. Unless Fred Warner makes his miraculous return, which obviously I'm hoping for. Maybe then they wouldn't be. Probably going to be an underdog in the Super Bowl if they make it. But at the same time, it's kind of what being a fan is all about.
And
we're just
what's
here to
the
see them try to
beauty-
win.
And what's the beauty of elimination games, not best of 7 games?
Exactly.
Anyone could win, right?
Any
Yeah.
given Sunday.
Any given Sunday, right? So that is what I have hope on. And dude, look, I believe it. If these guys to show up, play well. We have the strategy behind it, man. Goddamn Kyle Shanahan. Goddamn, you said in the last episode, the best job person. You look at all the jobs and people at their jobs, he's so good.
He's literally that good.
I was one of those casuals. I mean, I still am a casual. I mean, I would say I'm even an NBA casual, right? Like, I feel like it's one of those things where the more you learn, the more you realize how little you know.
Of course,
It's
yeah.
the classic
That's
thing,
what
right?
that's everything.
I feel like that's when you know you've really made it.
Exactly.
So in a way, I'm kind of complimenting myself. But anyways, like as a casual, I was kind of saying, hey, maybe Shanahan, we move on. But what he's done this goddamn season, holy crap. Holy crap. With the goddamn hospital, albeit we did have a pretty favorable schedule. We didn't have the most difficult. Yeah, we did have some tough matches. Seahawks, Rams.
Especially early in
Bears.
the season. Later in the season when we went on our incredible run, it was pretty much against the dregs of the league. But
We did beat the Bears.
Nevertheless.
We did beat the Bears.
true.
And we did lose against the Seahawks, which is unfortunate, but we did not have our great O lineman. Oh, sorry,
Absolutely.
Trent.
Trent Williams.
Pearsall still injured. So we did lose Kittle. So do you think we get Pearsall back against the Seahawks?
I'd hope so. I mean, the narrative coming into the game was that he was going to play. He was a last second inactive,
Okay.
which is also usually a bad sign because it means something might have re-aggravated it in some way.
Or
No,
maybe
we'll
just
see.
erring on the side of caution.
Caution about what?
like the next
He's
game.
not going to be around for.
No, like as in like okay, he's
When they-
like
oh,
75%.
I don't buy that at all. I think it's the exact opposite. I think if he could have played at all,
They're
he would have
pushing him to
played.
play, but it was
Yeah.
such a dire
Yeah,
thing.
that would be my guess.
Interesting. So your guess is there he's not going to play against the Seahawks.
I would say it's going to be 50-50 again next week. I don't think it's a situation where he was just on the verge of playing, but
Interesting.
because they would have had him play.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's gonna be. Oh man, I'm really praying, man. If we could beat the Seahawks, man,
The Seahawks might be the best team we play the rest of the season. So if we beat them,
because we're playing either the Bears or the Rams. We're playing against the Bears or the
the
Rams.
Rams just gave up 31
Yeah.
points
and
to
they
Panthers.
looked really.
You
poor.
cannot tell me that
They looked piss poor against.
They're
the
warming up
Panthers.
they're warming up into the playoffs. That's how they work. You guys are gonna like tail off.
I
think
mean,
that's how you guys
hopefully,
are gonna
like
go.
whatever, like freaking Stafford hurt his
Wilson-
finger.
What's it saying, you guys? Just get on board for one playoff
No,
run.
honestly, fair to win. If I'm a
Oh my!
Raiders fan, stay a Raiders fan. Stay in your lane.
I'm rooting for the Bills. The Bills are like my favorite, like in the playoffs.
Yeah, they've
Uh,
been doing great every year in the playoffs.
What do you mean? They literally they always either lose to the winning team or, like
No one remembers, right? All I remember is Josh Allen hasn't done it in the playoffs.
he does it bro. It's not his fault. He loses. It's always his defense's
That's
fault.
what history remembers.
He
right?
outplays Patrick Mahomes every damn time.
I don't remember this goddamn 3 rings.
Patrick Mahomes, you mean the guy who finished 6-10 this year?
Last few
Anyways, we digress. We're not a Niners podcast. Which, to be fair, at this point, you know what I was low-key thinking? We could kind of just be like a Bay Area podcast. We could just like give our tidbits about the Niners, right?
Yeah,
Like,
why not?
Because like
and the Raiders once they do come
And,
over.
next year when the Raiders have Fernando Mendoza West, we can give you a weekly segment.
right, okay, Loki, next year with Mendoza and Ginty, bro. Okay, they get Robert Saleh as their new head coach. He
Please.
fixes the defense. He fixes the defense. They get some good like O-line pieces.
That's all we
Desperately.
need. I feel
Yeah.
like that's all we need
All right, Wes, let's calm down.
to become like a
What's
a
the wide
5-win
receiver
To go
team
from
situation?
like
opposed
2
to like a
wins to
3-win
7
team.
wins.
What I mean, honestly, like
Yeah, I mean,
it should be good. I mean,
Yeah.
that would be a good thing,
Yeah.
right? With a rookie quarterback, with a second-year running back, they fix the O-line situation, so that helps Mendoza and it helps GT,
of
right?
course.
How's their wide receiver core look like?
Horrible.
Okay.
What's their O-line core look like? Horrible. What's
What's
their
their defense?
linebacker core look like? Horrible. What's their DB core look like? Horrible.
Hey,
What's
look,
their D-line core look
it's a
like?
rebuild.
Decent,
It's
to
a
be
rebuild.
fair.
It's a rebuild. So they get Mendoza. Look, I'm stamping in. I think Mendoza's a real deal.
He's so obviously the real
I
deal.
think he is.
We have not seen a player dominate college football like this since Joe Burrow in 2019. That's the only comparison
And
you
that
can make.
and the Hoosiers are our favorite to win this college football.
By a mile. I'm guessing. Let me guess the line right now. I'm gonna guess it's 6.5. It could be even higher than that. And if it's lower than that, then I mean I'm not a betting man, but some money smart money might be coming down on the other side. 7.5. Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
So can you explain that to
But-
non-gambling men like Wes and myself?
Yeah, the only two members of our generation, right? And me, of course. But 7.5.
You
In
clean
other
your whole life?
words, what clean?
You've been clean.
Clean? Like I had an addiction? That means that they are favored by 7.5 points. In other words,
so basically
to
by a
win.
touchdown.
By a touchdown. So the
Pretty dog.
market expects them to score a whole touchdown more than the Miami.
And if I didn't like Mendoza this much, I would, and also the Hoosiers and their head coach, and they haven't won ever, right?
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
I would be rooting for the
underdog,
yeah,
the Miami
underdog,
Hurricanes.
yeah, but
Yeah.
you got to root for the.
All right,
for the
we've
Hoosiers.
dodged the Warriors now for
Actually,
like
there isn't much to talk about.
15 to 20 minutes.
Because the goddamn Warriors suck. Like, it's not enjoyable to talk about the Warriors because they're just mid. We're a playing team, goddammit. Like, if you look at our record this week, 2-2, mid as crap, right? Goddamn, the Clippers. I'm gonna read some stats for you guys. So against the Clippers, Draymond Green, 6 points, 12 assists, 5 rebounds. Pretty Draymond stat, plus 15. Jimmy, 24 points. Steph, 27. Gary Payton, 14 points. Melton with a pretty weak game, 5 points, nothing much. Moody, 4 points, again, weak. Like Trace, 0 minutes. Brandon Pajemski, 6 points. So pretty weak showing else round, right? From the Clippers, 24 points, Kawhi, 10 points, Zubac. Toby Sanders. It's gonna be a casual moment of mine.
No, he is a no-name. He is a no-name that just
Young
popped
guy.
off against us.
Shocker that a guard played really well
Exactly.
against us,
This
right?
is, I mean, you can just like start adding them up. It's like Ryan Rollins, Reed Shepard, Caleb Love, now Kobe Sanders. I mean, young guards with a little bit of ball skills, decent shooting stroke. They have career nights against us almost universally.
Caleb
Guys,
Love.
yeah,
Looking forward
exactly.
this Tuesday, he's about to have another
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
night.
And again, all the four guys I just listed, they are guys who are having like decent seasons, kind of like mini breakout seasons, but their standout games seem to come against the Warriors.
MVP games.
Yeah, exactly.
We were pretty abysmal from the 3-point line. We were 24.4%. Even field goals pretty awful, 38%. Free throw, 81. That's all right. But I mean, what's your guys' takeaway? This was when I returned back from my flight, so I just caught the last shot, which is Jimmy Butler with a okay look, terrible attempt. Like you got to hit rim on that. You had enough space.
He did.
Yeah, he's leaning awkwardly. I get it. But I mean, like, if you're the guy we're going for a game winner, right? You got to be at least hitting rim. That's like an air ball. That's a pretty terrible attempt. I know we came back. We were down. I'm gonna leave the floor to you
Yeah.
guys for the rest.
I guess I'll go. Like it was the fake comeback is an NBA classic. Happens all the time. Team is down by 10, 12 points the entire game, and then makes a late run, only to lose. This was like the dictionary definition of the fake comeback. Warriors are down by I think 8, 9, like basically the entire fourth quarter. Then when at about the 3 minute mark, Steph Curry hit like two ridiculous threes back to back. All of a sudden, it was a one possession game. Ended up coming down right to the last possession. The attempt that Hassan just mentioned was way off by Jimmy Butler. I would, if anything, I would say that it was pretty much a fluke that we were even in that game on the last possession. It took, again, two ridiculous shots by Steph Curry, neither of which were particularly open, if I remember correctly. And again, having Steph on your team, that's what's going to happen. That's what he does for you. But that was essentially a game where the Warriors got beat solidly for the entire game. And to say that it was a 1 point game, I think is being again, obviously in a playoff setting or whatever, you win. But in terms of evaluating the team, I think it's safer to really say that was kind of like a 10 point loss. Um, it's been a while now, so I'm not sure if I can point to anything specific about how exactly we got beat, but I definitely do remember that Kobe Sanders, as we mentioned, had the incredible game. I already went on my little tangent about that. I guess, Wes, you can maybe, if you have any more specifics to add.
Yeah, I mean it's kind of tough to go game by game because it's been like about a week and a half since we last recorded. So this specific game, like you said, I think the only thing I specifically remember is Kobe Sanders just popping off against us. Kawhi didn't actually have like that great, even though he had been. That's when he had like his insane stretch when he had like 240 or three 40-point games, and he was kind of averaging like 35. I want to say something and something. So we kind of limited Kawhi pretty well, which is, pretty good. But like you said, it was not as close as the box score ended up saying. Like it was only 1 point loss, but really they were kind of in control. We kind of had a fake comeback, which we love to do. Uh, yeah. I didn't
Yeah,
want to like not about this game, but I think it's just the Kings. I mean, I was just gonna say like in regards to like general lineup stuff. There's not much to take away, but I do feel like last episode about Guy Santos, I feel like he should be our definitive sixth man off the bench instead of and I and I don't know about you guys, but I actually do like the starting lineup with Moody in there, even though I don't think he's even our fifth, sixth, or seventh best player. I just think he slots in at the shooting guard better than like Pods would or Melton. I think Melton, like, he's really good. He would slot in pretty well, but I think he provides his value is better off the bench, like being that ball handler off the bench. Whereas Moody, if he came off the bench, then I just feel like there's not enough offensive talent around him for him to really provide any benefit. So that's why I kind of like the way Steve Kerr kind of has, even though Moody's not definitely not the sixth or fifth, sixth or seventh best player, but I do like the rotations to be honest. I just and Gee getting more minutes in the past few games has been nice. It obviously hasn't shown up in wins like today against the Hawks, but against the Bucks it looked really good. Against the Kings, obviously that's a bad team. It looked really good, but I just feel like it is kind of nice to see that trend in that direction. Gee getting a little more minutes,
Yeah, I
becoming our
mean,
true rotation guy.
yeah. No, I mean, Guy continues to just look great. Objectively speaking, he looks great. I mean, this is a guy I think has it been 2 or 3 years of him being on a roster up to this point, and never before at any point would I've said he was a rotation player. So I think you could really say this is a breakout year for him.
Yeah.
Uh, his ability, his instincts and stuff around the rim, especially off ball crashing the glass, incredible. I think legitimately it is a standout skill that he has in a way that I would say, again, very specific skill, very niche skill, but he's probably one of the better guys in the entire league at crashing the glass off the ball and stealing offensive and defensive rebounds. and that does provide a ton of value, especially if you're going to be a role player who's not an incredible shooter, not an incredible ball handler, not an incredible passer. Like that's the kind of swing skill that you really need to have to get yourself on the court, and he does it phenomenally. His shooting continues to be decent, and that's all it really needs to be. And the ball handling, I would say, is improved a little bit as well. And maybe, who knows, maybe give him another 2 or 3 years, and he can continue to play himself into a long-term contract type of guy. That's, I think that's kind of his ceiling at this point as a player.
Yeah, like I think what we've been doing with him has been good. Like he is like a 16, 15-minute guy. I think that's really solid.
Yeah.
Like ballpark 15 minutes, that's pretty good because if he could give 5 points, but like you mentioned, like the rebounds, and he's just a big body, right? Like
Exactly.
we just don't have big bodies. So him being there, like I would say defensively, he's all right. Right?
He's fine.
Like he's not a cone, like he's there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like kind of, I would say like post at this point. Where
Yeah.
Post is kind of there.
Yeah.
Like you'll see Gee get beat, but I mean, if we could do a deep dive, I guess. I mean, you're the deep dive. You're like the advanced stats guy. If you could look at the advanced stats for the next episode, not right now.
I suppose.
So you can see how he's doing.
I'm the advanced stats guy because I know a website that you can put into Google and put the player's name into the search bar.
giving you credit for
I'm
the
just
first time
saying,
in my
like,
whole entire life.
Anybody can be the
Is
advanced
that what you
stats
do
guy.
at JP Morgan and what's the other company you work for?
Morgan Stanley.
Morgan Stanley, both Morgans.
Are you sure you work?
JP Morgan and Morgan. I would know, wouldn't I? They're my jobs, right?
Someone fact check this, please. But yeah, I like that. I think so. Yeah, I think it's like not worth going through every game because yeah, it's more or less similar. Another standout guy, Melton.
Anthony Melton.
He's been playing
Man,
standout.
Against the Kings, bro, or
You guys,
against
I would say Melton and Horford have been seemingly better. So I could. So Melton West, you kind of seem like you wanted to talk about it too. So I'll give you that. I'll talk about Horford for a little bit.
Sure.
I mean, if you look at Horford, he's getting more like his minutes. He's kind of there now, right? So 16, 19 minutes, 16 minutes, and then 16. So he's like a 15 minutes per thing guy. His shot has been looking better against the so he's like hovering around the 5 to 8 point mark, which is fine. That's all we need him for. We need him to be there just hitting threes. We need him to kind of, like today, like he grabbed some rebounds, we noticed.
Exactly. Yeah, he had a tough
He had
rebound.
Some tough rebounds. He had
Yeah.
kind of ball moving a little bit. So he's warming up. Like prior to this, he looked pretty piss poor. Like his shot was awful. He kind of looked like he was just like unplayable, right? So it's nice to see that he's warming up a little bit. Wes, you want to talk about Melton a little bit?
Yeah, so I mean, I've definitely listened to a lot of people talk about his, like on the radio at least, about his kind of like I feel like anything we're getting from Milton that's positive is kind of incredible just because of the injury. Like even though he's had a year to come back, like so he's had the requisite like rehab, but it's still kind of coming back from a pretty bad injury. And then he's kind of ramping up like pretty much immediately. He's coming off the bench a lot, but he's getting starter minutes and he's getting a starter role when he plays. Like he's on ball a lot. He's driving to the basket. He's creating his own shot. He's trusted to make these wide open threes, and he's been canning them for the most part. Like that's the thing with Guy Santos that kind of sucks is that he's getting a lot of wide open threes, and that's his role in the offensive end. Just knock down those wide open threes a lot. He's not hitting them at such a high clip, considering how
I would
easy
think
his
I
shots are.
disagree with Thomas. Like Thomas said earlier, like his three is all right. I feel like it's not that great.
I mean, I'm kind of curious what his percentage is because whatever it is, it probably should be higher just because
33%.
he's not like creating his own shots.
Yeah,
and
so
taking
it is
tough
like
shots.
slightly below
Yeah.
average, right?
No, I mean, of course. And he's not an above average. He's a below average shooter.
Yeah,
But I do think it's also important to note that at least when he came into the league, I mean, if I recall correctly, he was like a 12% guy. He was
What?
somebody. I don't remember. I remember
always
him being.
kind of being.
I
like
remember him being a
security
functionally a
shooter.
non-shooter. But maybe that's just.
I don't remember him as that, to be honest.
I
I
mean,
remember
his
him being like,
attempts he never attempted that much, but like he
I
went
remember
from, like,
thinking that this guy like he had a shot. Like I remember thinking like he had mechanics to be a shooter, but it's
Wait.
just
But you know what? You're absolutely right because he shot 37% in his first year.
yeah.
I'm just misremembering.
I think that if he could get a consistent three, he becomes a really valuable piece to us.
Absolutely. Yeah,
Like-
100%.
Yeah, because he's doing well in other bits and pieces, and like he's been rewarded with much more playing time.
Yeah.
So anyway, sorry, I kind of cut into your Milton talk.
No, yeah, but I feel like what's kind of crazy is I feel like Buddy Hield in name is known as a better shooter than I mean like so many guys unfortunately, but Melton specifically like it's kind of noticeable how much better of a shooter Melton is than Buddy Hield even like I'm not even looking at the percentages right now, but Melton is just he's hitting shots that Buddy is not able to hit. He's creating shots that Buddy's not able to hit. He moves off ball better than Buddy, I would say somehow, even though
No,
Buddy, I feel like is
absolutely do that.
supposed to be a movement shooter. Like that's
Yeah.
kind of his job.
Like,
That's all
I
you have
But
to
he's
do.
supposed to be a lot of things.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, he's so many things that don't really show up in the stat sheet, I guess. Like he's able to be a ball handler if you need him to. He can create his own shot. I don't want to like hype him up too much because it's not like he can do this on crazy volume, but you're able to I feel comfortable like swinging the rock to him and creating a shot with like 5 seconds left. If the shot clock is winding down or something like that, he can just create something and I'm fine with whatever shot he creates, because
I would agree with that.
yeah.
Totally agree with that.
And I mean, just to throw out a little stat, today Warriors lose by 13 points. DeAnthony Melton plus 18 in 23 minutes. I mean, if that doesn't sum up what the DeAnthony Melton experience has been for the Warriors
Mhm.
so far, it's been a very positive
Yeah.
one. And he's a guy who, if this team is going, I mean, first off, needs to stay healthy. But if this team is going to ever make a deep run, hold your laughter. He is going to have to play like this going forward and possibly even better. So it's nice to see that he is where he needs to be because there are a few other guys on this roster who it feels like, at least up to this point in the season, have not been where they need to be if this team is going to make a deep run.
It's been the story for the last
Yeah.
3 to 4 seasons, right?
Yeah.
Like we just have guys not doing their part. So it's nice to see someone is.
Mhm.
But Melton gets my what did we say? What did we finalize?
Steph.
We said no. We said Sean. The Sean of the week.
Sean of the week. How did
Sean
we
Livingston.
Sean Livingston, fair enough. Okay, yeah.
And then we said
absolutely.
the Kaminga, right? Or the
The
JK.
Kuminga of the week.
Or
Oh,
the JK, the joke.
Joe.
The joke of the week.
Okay.
So the JK of the week was so the Sean of the week for me is Melton. I think that's a
I
pretty
agree.
can
I
we
would agree.
unanimously get the
Yeah.
Sean of the
Yeah,
week.
yeah,
And
100%.
then the JK of the week. I mean, Hield hasn't just gotten time, so
No, it can't be. It can't be.
it can't be good because he
Yeah.
kind of got.
Yeah. If anything,
Uh,
that makes him the Sean of the week. Sitting on the bench.
makes Kerr the Sean of the week for finally understanding. He's like, damn, holy shit.
Yeah, actually, matter of
Oh.
fact,
Who is actually?
I gotta be honest. I might throw out. I know it's an oldie, but it's also a goodie. I might throw out Pods. I mean, after a positive stretch where it looked like he was rounding back into at least maybe like his rookie form, where it's just, okay, like he's well in his role.
Yes.
He's gone radio silent yet again.
Although I would say like against the Bucks, 2 points. Okay, I know it's the stats are showing like he was plus 19. I would
Yeah,
point out,
I
but
mean-
he was 2, 6, and 4 against the Kings. He was 14, 4, and 2. Against the Hawks, he was pretty abysmal today. I think he was
might be slight recency bias because he didn't have a great game
3.
today.
So
Yeah.
he was horrible today, but the whole team was horrible today. Against the Bucks and Kings, he played respectable.
I mean,
And like
what is he? What you said 2 points.
he had, but the 6 rebounds.
I respect it, but like, come on, man. 2
And-
points. How many minutes? If it's over 10 minutes, that's awful. 22 minutes.
Yeesh. Yeah.
I
that's-
mean, come on. I mean, that's
Yeah.
ridiculous.
I mean, I was gonna say like we didn't know. I feel like nobody played like terrible. Like I guess Pods is the guy that I guess
I would
played
kind
below
of agree
average.
with that. So today, just everyone was bad. Like against I mean, they looked like our offense was just dog. It was
Their
just-
defense is legit though. Like without Trey, like their defense pretty much has
True.
no holes. Like just switch everything.
True. I mean, that is in fairness, but I mean, like if we cannot even competently beat the Hawks,
Yeah.
I mean, like what the flip?
Yeah,
like the
that's
goal
true.
here. The guys,
Exactly.
the goal here is a ring.
Exactly. I mean,
It's not to be like, hey,
and that's
we ended as a 6 seed, pretty darn.
and that's
good.
why let's just do our weekly in segment where we remind everybody that the trade deadline has not happened yet, and this team is obviously at least one trade away from being a contender. So everything that's presented is with the
look.
grain of salt.
If MPJ joins us, I would like to do a deep dive on his defensive capabilities. From my very surface level research, he's a competent guy there, is what I've heard. He's gotten better,
Yeah.
is what I've heard in basic research. But if he could, like right now he's averaging 25. If he could give us goddamn good 18 points, woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Don't look now. Maybe this team could be a WCF team. Dare I say, if we don't meet the Thunder before the Western Conference Finals, maybe we could be a Western Conference Finals.
I
But
would
then we're
agree.
getting our asses stuck for apologies for the fans at home. We're getting our cheeks throttled by the
Okay.
Thunder.
Let me give before because I think we're about to wind down, but let me just give out one
We are
last
winding down. Yeah.
one last little segment. Draymond Green been the subject of a lot of controversy this season. With the deadline approaching, there is a civil war currently going on in the Warriors fan base about whether he should be traded or whether he should be kept. Where do each of you guys fall on that?
That is a great
Say
guy.
keep him.
All right, my question is, what for who?
It's hard to tell because,
Like for 80, no. I
for
want
example,
80. He's
yeah, well, 80,
glass.
well, I mean, 80's hurt. 80 is now has no trade market because he injured himself yet again. Thank God.
Yeah, because I was worried
Which-
like we
Not even the worst, just which I feel bad for whatever dumbass front office would go out and do
I
that.
mean, I wouldn't mind if like the Thunder decided, hey, maybe we give up Shea Gilgeous-Alexander
But,
for thing.
yeah.
Or J-Dub and Chet.
But you're talking about Trey Murphy, Michael Porter Jr. level guys that we would be flipping
No.
Draymond for.
Definitely not. I mean, what the fudge? So we become worse defensively?
I generally agree.
What? I understand. Look,
Because we don't need to. That's the important thing for
exactly.
me.
We just need to ship off. Another thing like you reminded me. So my kind of sneaky little hypothesis is players that we've given significantly less time to. So I mean, obviously JK we've been knowing, but like Healed all of a sudden has just gotten almost no minutes. TJD almost no minutes. Pap Spencer's contract is nothing, so not him. But like, there's someone else. Loki Moody has gotten very little minutes. I
Has
feel
he?
like-
He's been starting.
Has he?
still.
Let's see. Okay, Moody
He started today.
Against the Bucks.
22 against the
It'd be,
Hawks, 17.
man, it'd be hilarious if it was like 51 minutes.
Yeah, all right. So just ignore that. But like, I guess like,
I think the big one, Healed and Kuminga
oh
are the big ones.
yeah, exactly. Healed and Kaminga and TJD, I would say.
Yeah.
Although Al Horford and Thing have been eating TJD's minutes, so mainly
Who's thing?
the other two-
Gee?
Al Horford and Gee. They've been like basically his minutes have been eaten by
Exactly,
Gee,
yeah,
Al
exactly,
Horford, and
yeah.
then so
Yeah.
Buddy Hield and Kaminga very noticeably have not Healed especially. So I feel like a package of Kaminga, Healed, and maybe Moody.
Then that is the exact deal that for Michael Porter Jr. has mostly been floated because salary-wise it matches perfectly. There's some debate. Okay, here just again, I think we might be going a little bit long, but just one last quick debate. Would you go up to 3 first-round picks if one of them was perhaps protected, or would you cap it at 2? This is I'm throwing. See, this is the important subject.
You gotta go for it because we were trying to win.
Exactly.
God damn it.
That's where I've come down on it.
Because we're never gonna get Curry again. We're never gonna get like I mean Butler we can maybe get, but like a great defensive soul piece like Dre and and obviously Steph we're never gonna get. But like man, does MPJ take us to the chip? No, he doesn't. But on the flip side, then it's like, do you just give up with Steph, Butler?
It could get done for 2. 3 is like if they really tried to hamstring us and put the screws on and say we're comfortable with just keeping him if you don't give us 3.
I mean, like
We don't know how it'll go down, but
Okay, look. I think you go for the trade. You pray that like Shea tears his Achilles.
to be fair, the Thunder did lose to the Hornets by 30 points when they were all healthy.
Like, okay, I'm not gonna lie. Everyone's talking about this. I mean, okay, womp.
I know.
It's a cope-ass argument.
I know.
Football. It's not football where it's like, okay, if like a
Yeah,
championship team goes out in week 8, loses abysmally, then you can start saying, hey, but even that is like, okay, it's just an off week.
yeah.
It's the goddamn NBA. We have 82 games in a season. All right, dude, they lost. They had an off night. Everyone didn't show up. Sorry, it's just like
You're probably right.
I'm like
You're probably
kinda
right, but
triggered because I've seen
It's
that
tempting
everywhere.
because they got so much hype that people were talking about the Warriors record and
Wait, that like see even okay. I talked to someone about this. I don't know if it was you guys or it was my cousin. Shout out Wajibai. I never saw them beating the record. Like, all right, bro. Because first and foremost, the Warriors are the lesson that you should not overcommit to the regular season. Because guess what? You don't win the damn chip. It doesn't matter. You can be
Yeah, you can-
82 and 0.
in fact you become a target for like jokes for the rest of history.
The
It's
rest
done.
of humanity
Yeah.
would be the point, right? The 72-10 record is infinitely better than ours because they goddamn won.
Mhm.
We we gave LeBron the greatest ring of all time. Sorry, Thomas. It's objectively true.
I think it was Michael Jordan's 1993 ring, but
Definitely not. They came back down 3-1 in the finals. Phenomenal, right? Yeah, Draymond suspended. Yeah, XYV, blah, blah, blah. But history will remember 3-1 comeback in the finals on the greatest record of all time. On the unanimous MVP.
It's
the
true.
only unanimous MVP.
it's unfortunately
So-
true.
I didn't think they're going to overcommit anyways, because they're smart. Like, why would they? Why do you want to risk Shea getting injured?
Yeah.
So that's the first thing. Second thing is, I mean, 73 and 9, you have to be so damn near perfect.
Yeah.
And we were like 28 and 0 to start the season.
I mean, it was obviously a case of media overhype. But the point is that this aura of invincibility that they had kind of created around
Like, it
themselves
got popped.
got popped a little bit. And now I would remind
How did
people
they win it?
that the Indiana Pacers, which were considered by some people to be essentially a miracle run team that maybe didn't even belong in the finals in the first place. Not to disrespect them,
No,
but in
they're
terms of
legit though. They're legit.
they're
Or they were legit.
obviously they were legit. But coming into the playoffs, a lot of people would not have had them in the finals. Took this damn team to 7 and very easily could have won it if Hallie doesn't turn his
Yeah.
ACL into or his Achilles into fucking
Jello.
confetti. Yeah, in the middle of
Yeah, that
the
was
game.
really tough.
Uh,
So look, but
they're not a juggernaut in the same way that, for
course.
example, the 2017 Warriors.
sure, I mean that's the greatest team of all time. But besides that, sure, but even with MPJ, this team does not beat the current Thunder. I just don't see it.
You call me crazy, but I think I could. Because I think
You
if
agree?
In a
we take out
seven-game
all
series,
cancerous
dude,
parts
Wes,
of
in
this
a
team,
7-game series.
I agree.
I think it's possible.
I mean, like anything is possible. Like sure,
I mean,
like
bro,
but, like,
Chet continues to struggle in the playoffs. He has his problems. Like he has his up tides and he has his like bad series.
Yeah, I mean,
I think we just need a
J-Dub,
bad series from Chet, which is not crazy. Like there's times when Shea puts up gaudy numbers and it just doesn't matter and they
I mean, the
lose.
issue is that look, even from a defensive point of view,
J-Dub
we get
shoots higher than
MPJ,
35%
we
from
get
free challenge.
we get MPJ.
Also, J-Dub having a
Impossible,
shitty
man.
season again.
I mean, because
From Philly.
J-Dub, it's becoming very obvious. Sorry, like, ooh, this is getting into dangerous territory time-wise, but it's becoming very clear that J-Dub is literally not a good three-point shooter. And that's a problem. If you're going to play shooting guard or small forward in the NBA in 2025, and you're going to consistently be shooting 34% from three, that is a legitimate problem for him as a player.
Look, I can agree with all this. However, even from we get MPJ, we get rid of Kaminga, so that's nothing. We get rid of Heal, that's a positive. We get rid of Moody. That's like a slight. I mean, like he's like a very slight. He's like an average or slightly above average defender. I would say slightly. Like give him like 55%, right? Like average is 50. I'd give him like 55 to 59,
Yeah.
right? But MBJ, I would say, is probably about the same. So it fills that gap. We are still defensively a pretty weak team, especially at the point of attack point of view, right?
It's true because unfortunately,
A championship team cannot have that much of a glaring weakness.
Yeah, because
in my
unfortunately,
humblest of opinions.
you know, our best defenders are still going to be Jimmy and Draymond, who are both not really qualified at this point in their careers to consistently defend the best guards in the league on the perimeter. And that's
And
a
until we
point.
fix that problem, I'm just not super confident. Like I just really can't. Like I mean, man, it's just so tough. The trade market's tough. Our hands are kind of tied. People know we're in a really tough spot. So it's like we don't. It's just a really really tough spot to be worried. Look, man, if Dunleavy wowed us with the Butler trade. That was a phenomenal trade. It was a great move. In Dunleavy we trust. Let's see what happens. This episode's been pretty long. It was my return, so we had to make it a big
Court,
grand
yeah.
episode, right? But to kind of end and conclude, when we see you guys next week, we're playing against the Trailblazers on Tuesday. We're playing against the Knicks on Thursday,
Rematch.
and then we're playing against the Hornets on Saturday. I predict a 1-for-2, maybe a 2-in-1. I think we beat the Hornets. I think we lose against the Trailblazers and the Knicks.
I think we beat the Knicks. That's the only 2-1. That's mine. Is that the game you think could flip? Or
Yeah, I could see no, I could see either game flip. Like I can see either.
Blazers kind of just have our number. At
They
this
do
point.
have a number, but it could just be like, okay, they beat us twice or thrice at this point.
I think it was only 2 times.
Yeah, and then they could just
They did
maybe
kind of thrash us, though. I think, especially the second time. But
maybe we beat them. Maybe we beat Danny Advia for no reason.
yeah, man,
Maybe
a victory
Kerry-
for humanity, some might say.
This podcast has been 10 years when we're making millions of dollars. Because we hate him as a basketball player.
yeah, of course. I mean,
Because
foul.
he's just like a foul baiter.
Exactly, yes,
Took the
scumbag.
words out of my mouth.
You could say he's a bad person because he foul baits.
Yeah, exactly. The worst in the league.
And by the way, I of course predict the Warriors will go 3-0.
Okay. I mean, you would have been right this last week, wouldn't you? We went like 8-3.
No,
Wes, we were
Yeah, we went 2.
Oh, did we ever go 3-0?
I don't think I had. I don't think I've been right.
I
On
didn't write a single
I
time.
don't think I've been around on this single time. Although we did one of the weeks at least, we did go like I think 3-1. So that's the closest I've come.
Okay.
But
What did we play against the Hornets and then the goddamn like
yeah, basically,
freaking
good teams win the games they're
bum
supposed to.
bum bum bum?
Good teams win the games that they're supposed to win.
I mean, we
First rule of the NBA: learn. Go to NBA school.
It's okay, bro.
First
First
thing
episode back.
yeah, I guess. All right. Well, we will see you guys most likely after the game on Saturday against the Hornets. We're gonna record. I mean, we'll be done by 8:30. Probably could get that out that night. So Thank you guys for listening. A reminder to our editor, record shorts. This is like my 5th reminder. I did some 3 before the cut. Now I'm doing it in the
Yeah,
cut.
we're, paying you so much. You probably should be
Yeah.
putting in a little bit more work.
Yeah,
Right?
literally.
Yeah.
Can you put out 10 shorts at least? Because like I said, if we want to get monetization, we got to get them views up. All right. Take care, guys.